Hi, I'm Jonathan Alter, a journalist and historian, been covering presidents for a long time. This week had a lot of good news for those of us who want to hold Donald Trump to account, and also some worrying news. And I thought I'd kind of walk everybody through some of both. All right, what's the good news? The good news is the flipping is underway. So, you now have Ken Cheesebro, you have Sidney Powell, Jenna Ellis, a guy named Hall who flipped a minor character. So you have four people who flipped. And what often happens in these conspiracy cases is that the flipping gets contagious. So you recognize that the train is leaving the station. You can get off with a slap on the wrist if you flip and provide testimony that could send Donald Trump to prison. Fingers crossed. All right. So basically, this is seriously good news in terms of not just Fannie Willis's case, which is what all this flipping is relevant to, but possibly also in the federal case that Jack Smith is bringing in Judge Tanya Chutkan's courtroom, where she's already scheduled a trial date in March. So there's two conspiracy basically RICO cases, as you all know, one in Georgia, one in Washington. And this flipping, even though it's going on in the Georgia case, will likely also help Jack Smith in the Washington conspiracy case, especially if it continues. And whatever happens with Trump, Jenna Ellis flipping is really bad news for Rudy Giuliani. So he's going to be under a lot of pressure now to flip. I don't think he will, but there's serious possibility that he's facing a lot more legal jeopardy than he was before these defendants decided to basically testify against him and quite possibly against Trump as well, depending on their level of knowledge. Cheesebro was in meetings with Trump. Jenna Ellis was in meetings with Trump. So there's going to be a lot of good stuff that comes out of these folks becoming government witnesses. Now, why did I say I am also worried and that there's some worrying news about that developed this week? Well, just in the last day, the Trump defense in the federal case filed a flurry of motions that they're going to try to get adjudicated before the trial. They're making a free speech claim that Trump was just exercising his First Amendment rights and what he was saying. They're making an immunity claim that as president, he was immune from anything that had to do with anything he did when he was president. Both of these are, kind of ridiculous. But just because I think they're ridiculous, and Harry and a lot of other former federal prosecutors think they're ridiculous, doesn't mean that every judge on the D.C. Circuit, that's the District of Columbia Court of Appeals, will believe that all of these ideas are so ridiculous that they don't even deserve consideration. So there are 11 judges on the D.C. Circuit who will, pretty soon be reviewing these motions. And at first, there will be a 3-judge panel that they'll draw by lot who will determine whether these motions have any merit at all for further consideration. Now, if all 3 judges say, this is bull, this is not, these Trump motions are ridiculous, then the case will move forward, and they will be likely to meet their March 2024 trial date, and we'll get Trump on trial in federal court before the election. If all 3 of the judges on the 3-judge panel at the U.S. District Court of Appeals, the District of Columbia, rule on the side of the government in these motions. But if there's a 2-to-1 split in those 3-judge panels, then what happens is all 11 judges on the DC Circuit are then brought in to review these motions. And that's called en banc. And if you get en banc, it's much more complicated and it takes a lot of time. And a Washington lawyer with a lot of experience in the DC Circuit told me this week that it could lead to delays of a year if it goes en banc to all 11 judges. And if that happens, of course, Trump won't be tried before the election. So this is a matter of the fickle finger of fate, like which 3 judges are selected by lot for these 3-judge panels. In a recent case involving one of the January 6th defendants, they actually had a 2-to-1 split on one of these legal issues, and they had to go to en banc. Now, it wasn't on a First Amendment claim or an immunity claim. It was on another claim. But there's always the chance that a Trump or Bush appointee, sorry to be so political, but this is the reality, to the U.S. District Court of Appeals, one of those 11 judges will say, you know what, I think these legal issues are interesting, and I'm going to, dissent and go en banc, and that means a lengthy delay. So unfortunately, that's something that we really have to worry about. In some, really good news with the flipping, worrisome news with these Trump defense motions that were filed this week, and all to be discussed more when Harry Litman is back. If you want to read more of my writing on this and on the Middle East, you can go to oldgoats.substack.com or just put Jonathan Alter or Substack into your Google and hear more of what I have to say. Thanks for listening.
Hey everyone, Harry here. Hope you're enjoying the content from all the friends of our channel, great experts in their fields all. I want to thank them for stepping up to the plate while I'm away. I'll be back soon, and I'm looking forward to resuming the daily videos. Talk to you later.